welcome to Horses for Courses. It's a brand new series all about horses and the people whose lives revolve around them. I'm here today at the Kent County Show to introduce you to a man with his own highly individual way with horses, Hungarian stunt rider Joe Chury. But over the next 10 weeks, we're going to be out and about looking at all aspects of the horse world and meeting all sorts of people with just one thing in common, a passion for horses, whether they earn a living from them, compete with them, or simply keep them for fun.
And I'm off to the races, not in the grand manner, as you can see. I've been invited to the local point-to-point meeting, where apparently everybody mucks in. There are no big prizes at stake, it's all very much for fun. By the way, I always thought the information came from the other end of the horse. But first, it's back to Veronica and some other horses for courses.
John Bunyan retires Scalby Lodge. And now it's Joe Chury in the money yesterday in 2 classes. This afternoon rides Michael Bullman's Vital. Vital number 34.
The Kent County Show, and the competitor in the ring is Joe Chury. He's not a big name in the world of show jumping, but if all goes according to plan, he will be one day. Joe's greatest ambition is to be famous on the international circuit.
Come on, boys.
It's the way he goes about it that makes him stand out from the crowd.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, okay? Come on.
While most riders work to perfect their seat, Joe concentrates on his feet.
Come on now. Wait.
It's a technique he learned back home in his native Hungary, where he was an apprentice at the Hungarian State Stud. It was there he became a member of the Chicos Riders, the national stunt riding team whose act is based on the traditional skills of the Hungarian gauchos. To pass the time while they were riding herd, they would teach their horses tricks. It was a hobby that soon became a professional money-making tourist attraction, and one that Joe was quick to pick up.
Okay. Just the whip cracking is just to show the people he's not frightened from a whip and hasn't been taught by cruelness or, you know, being hard with him. I mean, obviously you have got to be a little bit firm with him, but you've got to know how far to go. Oh, oh, oh boy. This is just to show how calm he is, and you know you can do anything with him. You can crawl between your leg. You can do anything with him. I think if I try to probably turn him over, I probably could if I'm strong enough. Oh, 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 oh. He's very, very calm. You can do anything with him, really. Oh, oh, good lad. Good lad.
In 1973, the Chicos Riders toured Britain. Joe came with them. But when they returned home, he stayed. As the lorry headed back to Dover, Joe jumped out. He was only 17, he spoke no English and had just £10 to his name when he was granted political asylum in this country. That was 12 years ago. Today, he works and rides for Michael Bullman, who owns a stud in Essex. And Michael was quick to recognise his talents.
I don't think anywhere else in the country you could do what he does, which is break horses, school horses, and show jump, and race ride if he wanted to such a high level. I would think he's probably the best horseman in the country. I don't know anybody else who could do what he does, from scratch to top-level riding.
Come on, boys.
Joe is more than just a skillful horseman. He's a showman, too. And he's worked up a speciality act which he takes around the country. His latest team of chestnut geldings have only been in training for 10 days.
Geldings I usually choose for him because mares very ticklish, you know, as girls I think it's the same. But, you know, you get on the back and start bucking and kicking, you know, because they're very sensitive around the groins, you know. So I really choose geldings for him. And once you get on them, you know, a couple of times, start standing on them, have a couple of buck. Fast as you go, the better it is because they're not bucking and you get your balance right. Come on there. Come on there. Oh. Oh, hop, hop. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Pull the standing or pole out.
Joe's style of riding is not what every horse is trained to expect, and their reactions can be alarming.
All right. That's why I'm using a blinkers for them, you know, so they can't really see you standing on the back, because I think once they see you standing on the back, they go berserk, you know, they wouldn't really care where they're going. You just take off and do stupid things, run into fences or something like that. So I'll put the blinkers in them in case, so they can just see forward, nothing down on the side, you know, as soon as they go past something, I don't see them. And one of them on the left-hand side is very, very spooky anyway, so it was a little bit of trouble with them, you know, but I usually, when they get a bit difficult, I get out and get them out in the morning, in the afternoon, give them plenty of work, and by a day goes, you know, should go good. Come on now, come on.
With just 3 days to go before the first public performance of the season, Joe puts his team at jumps for the first time. Just low ones to start with to see how it goes.
Pull. Hop, pull. Pull. You've got to keep your balance on the horses. You've got to have a good balance for it. You've got to be light with your hand. If you're too rough with your hand, then pulling him back and then start going backwards. You know, you've got to get the bit right, and you've got to be light with your hand. Good balance, good boots, something is nice and, you know, stiff on the horses. And other than that, you've got to have a little bit of leg muscle, and you're away you go.
Once the horses are warmed up and going, he opens them out to a full-blooded gallop.
It's funny, really. Once you gallop them, it's easier to stand on than you're going walking or trotting. It's much easier.
If you keep doing it, you're going to have a bad accident, I think, because it's very, very risky. I mean, you're doing about 20 miles an hour to gallop standing on horses with no crash hat. He won't wear a crash hat because he thinks he's got to be in the traditional gear, and, you know, what they're like Hungarians. I think it's a little bit mad. You have to be mad to do that, that's for sure.
Oh.
But there is method in his madness. If he can make a name for himself at the shows, he might attract a sponsor to pay for his first love, show jumping. However, this could be his last season as a stunt rider. Costs are running away with him. He's not getting any younger, and common sense tells him to pack up while he's still in one piece.
All right, get a horse. Don't let him out in the gate. Don't let him out in the gate.
When the day of the show arrives, it's an anxious time. The horses are green. They've never performed in public, and he doesn't know how they'll react to the distractions of the main ring. But while there's a crowd to entertain, Joe's Hungarian bravado will make sure he gives them a performance worth watching.
You go to the show like Kent County, everybody looks after you. They think you're treating you like a king, you know. They're really, really people nice to you and everything. You know, it's funny, this life is everything's, you know, as soon as you just do something, do a little bit, something spectacular, they all the time want to recognize you, all the time want to say hello to you. And I think everybody's aimed for that, you know. It's like John McEnroe playing tennis. You know, he's the greatest and everything, and everybody want to talk to him and all that. That's what I think is human race, really, you know.
So basically you want to be famous?
Well, that's right, for everybody, I suppose. You know, that's what I really do it for. Come on. Yeah!
Morning, you mean? Off home to bed now?
Well, I'm going to get some money first.
Money at 7:30 in the morning? What are you going to do, rob a bank?
Katie, Tom, you'll be late for school.
Bye, darling.
Oh, did you pay the electricity bill?
Oh, no.
Oh, don't worry, I'll do it on my way to work. You're getting so forgetful.
Hello? Jane, it's Sue. Do you still want to buy my car? Well, if I can afford it, I'll have to
to check my card cash account. Tell you what, meet me in the high street. OK. Oh, I can't wait to have a car of my own.
Bye, love. Where will you be tonight?
Oh, I don't know yet.
Well, wherever you are, don't forget to pay that cheque into the Halifax.
No problem.
Halifax Card Cash gives you a lot of extra services, works from 6 a.m. to midnight, and pays you interest.
Now, that's what I call getting a little extra.
It has taken skill and vision and care. It has given us the Metro, the best-selling British small car. The all-round Maestro, fast, tough, spacious. The Montego, with 5 major awards in 10 months, including What Car's Best Family Saloon. The Estate Car of the Year. And the Montego Turbo, the fastest production saloon of its kind in the world. Austin Rover's Metro, Maestro, Montego, the nation's new cars. Now we're motoring.
Don't you just love my Esso sherry glasses?
1 glass for 2 vouchers, 1 voucher with every £6 worth of petrol or diesel you buy.
But they do match all the other Esso glasses, and the world and his wife will be collecting them. So, to make sure of yours, go to your participating Esso station and say I sent you. That should do the trick.
There's Ascot, there's Henley, there's Wimbledon, and then there's Aldington. The international set have their summer season, the country set have the point-to-point season. Point-to-points are the last real bastion of amateur horse racing. No royalty, no oil sheiks, no pools millionaires indulging their fortunes here. But people like Malcolm Smith and son John, master plumbers who splashed out their life savings of £400 for a horse good enough to run at their local meeting. It's all done for fun.
I hope it is fun. That's the whole point of the day, really, to reward the farmers over whose ground the hunt has hunted, and everyone who comes to have a really enjoyable day out, hope they back all the winners, and see something interesting, meet their friends, and generally have a happy day.
Today's meeting is being staged by the West Street Hunt. Hardly Duke of Beaufort country. They don't even have a course of their own. So they've had to borrow a farmer's field from the neighbouring East Kent Hunt at Aldington, just off the A20 between Ashford and Folkestone. But what the West Street may lack in prestige, it more than makes up for in friendliness. Almost intimate, you might say.
Hello, Greg. How are you? I'm very well indeed. Nice to see you. Hello, Carol.
I expect a number of you will remember the delicious steaks being served at our last midnight...
You've all been round the course. I think there are 2 points that we've got to watch.
Cheese. Mind your backs behind, please, horses.
Part and parcel of any point-to-point scene is the beer tank.
With some 120 horses arriving from all over the home counties, the daunting task of organising the day's racing belongs to Hunt Secretary John Budden, a teacher, come racing tipster, come commentator, come historian.
They were gamblers in the 18th and 19th century as they are now. And after they'd finished a sort of day's hunting, they planned what entertainment they'd do next. And one of them came up with the bright idea of racing from a point to a point, literally. You know, from one church spire to another. I think to start with, they didn't even put up flags on fences, and people just had to get there and back as quickly as they jolly well could. And if they fell over, so much the better, they could get up again, you know, and the first man past the post won, hence point to point.
The standard of riding varies. Some jockeys are good, some are plain awful. One of the best is Annie Blaker, who has been race riding for at least 25 years. She has a farm and livery stable on the edge of the Ashdown Forest in Sussex and is training El Padre for the Ladies' Open race at Aldington.
This is my 6th season with him, and I run him quite a lot. But he doesn't, as I said, if it's too good for him, he doesn't make too much effort, so he doesn't wear himself out. You know, I think possibly some of the best horses are really stupid ones that just put everything into it.
Whereas your chap is
Yes,
a bit too clever.
He thinks a little bit too much, but he'll always try if he thinks he's got a chance.
There's a whisper on the point-to-point circuit that, in fact, you're a good bit better than many of the men.
Oh, I don't know about that. There are a lot of very good men as well. But there are a lot of very, very bad riders point-to-pointing who really, you know, should learn to ride a bit better before they do it.
On the day, Annie finds herself in one of the hottest ladies' races of the season. The dressing room atmosphere is tense, and the riders are relieved when it's time to get on with the action. The horses parade before each race. It gives the punters the chance to select their fancies and to take on the bookies.
Mario, 45 El Padre.
As the ladies line up for the start, Annie in the green colours and El Padre are rank outsiders at 20 to 1.
Under orders, please. Are you ready? Off!
I'd like to ride him at the back to start with, and then just gradually work up, because that way he sort of reserves his energy more. If it's not too fast a race, he could have some speed left at the end, but if it's a fast race, he won't have anything left.
Annie's predictions about El Padre prove all too accurate. He has the sense to realise there are faster horses in the field, and he drops back and eventually pulls up.
Helen, get out of the way.
But up front, a battle royal is developing between the hot favourite, Brigadier Mouse, on the right, and Jamario, the 20 to 1 outsider. The outsider wins. Most of the cheers are from the bookies. Girls, a fantastic finish. Nikki, you were on the red-hot favourite.
Yes.
You must have been disappointed.
I was a little bit, yes. As we landed over the last and battled out through the finish, I was wondering who it was next to me. And indeed, when we pulled up, I turned to my colleague and said, "Who are you?" And she started introducing herself and gave me her name. I said, "Not you, you bloody horse."
Well, you know now.
I do. I didn't recognise the colours. She's a stranger to this area, but well done.
Thank you.
Maria, did you have money on him today?
No, not at all. In fact, I'm going to be so shocked when I get home because I was told to put £1 on for my brother, and I didn't. So
Oh, dear.
at that price, I think he's going to be quite annoyed.
This is sort of cost of
time.
Confetti time. Yes. That's it. Finished.
Now running on to another fence, number 5.
For some people, there is more to a point-to-point meeting than just racing.
People enjoy themselves. People enjoy themselves. Far be it from me to say, you know, sort of whether they're behaving or misbehaving, because let's face it, the beer tent is there for them to enjoy.
Has there been some racing on today?
The banter in the men's dressing room is good-natured.
Fast women and slow horses, I got all the slow horses. Fast women ain't that fast either.
Most of the riders are trying to conceal pre-race nerves. Getting round unscathed is all most of them ask, and they need a calming influence.
We've seen them grow up. Some of these jockeys now, they've grown from toddlers when they used to come in with their parents, who were probably riding, and now, of course, they're riding themselves. It's over the number of years like that.
When we first started, you were lucky to just get one table and a bucket. And we used to go out in the stream and wipe the green stuff off the water and have a bucket of water for them to wash. And we had none of this equipment.
They look after them.
We've only built it up over the years, you know.
In the adjacent hunts race, the favourite Maisie, Mons Bow, winner at Royal Ascot a few years ago, battle out a thrilling finish. But at the second fence from home, disaster. Maisie and Chris Willett part company. Officially, it'll be recorded as "you are," unseated rider, a slur on the jockey rather than the horse. Chris escapes with just a dent in his pride.
We were going really well, you know, well enough to win, I think, and she jumped it well enough and didn't get a leg out in time, basically. Went on the nose and was scrambled to come up, but gravity sort of got the better of me, really.
And how badly hurt were you?
No, I'm okay. Yeah.
And the horse?
The horse is fine. Yeah,
But you
no
reckon
problems.
at that stage you would have won the race?
In my mind, no doubt whatsoever. I hadn't done a thing on. I was sitting quietly and was going very, very easily.
Well, certainly the bookmakers took a lot of money on you. You were a red-hot favourite.
Well, yeah, we fancied her, you know, all connections fancied her. We thought we had a good chance of winning with her.
Right, your co-jockey was Nick Wheeler, who saw what happened. Just tell us what your view was when it happened.
Well, we were going very well, just about to come up on the inside and take over, when he just disappeared.
Did it look a bad fall from where you were?
Oh, no, nice and easy. The horse never fell. No problems at all.
You didn't feel like jumping off yours and helping him out?
No, just a great relief to see him go.
Have you got the horse and not a rider, or have you got the rider and not a horse?
No, I've got the rider. Yes, I've got it now.
For the West Street followers, the highlight of the meeting is the race restricted to members of the hunt.
Well, on you go, Joanna.
21-year-old farmer's daughter, Joanna Drew, is having her first race in public.
That's all right. That's it.
And one of her opponents, the man she's about to marry, 23-year-old Peter Hickman. Joanna and Peter, can I just have a quick word with you? Joanna, this must be a nervous moment for you.
I feel okay.
Is it your first ever ride?
Yeah. But I've been very busy this morning, so the nerves haven't got to me.
Now, Peter, your fiancé, is riding in the same race. Is he giving you some hints?
A few. I keep asking him, but he says, I don't know.
Peter, are you really going to be concentrating fully on your own horse, or are you going to be worrying about Joanna the whole time?
Yeah, mine's first time out, so I should be hopefully just concentrating on him. I mean, once I'm out there, there's nothing I can do for Joanna. I've told her all I can, so...
You've given her a few tips?
Try to, yeah.
What have you told her?
Just to keep out of the way of the others as much as possible and keep an eye on what's going on in front, really.
Oddly enough, the hunt race is probably the race with the smallest amount of runners in it, but it is tremendously competitive. And there are one or two people who will be doing their best to make certain that Miss Drew and Master Hickman don't reach the last fence first.
Do you mean there'd be skullduggery out on the course?
Well, I wouldn't put it as strongly as that, but there's no quarter given, and there are lots of bends on the course, and you know, if the person's in front, he's not going to let, or she's not going to let anyone up on the inside.
It's also a tense moment for John Smith, the Deal plumber who'll be riding his dad's horse, Kilton Joe. The Smiths epitomise the true amateur spirit of point-to-points. Business has to come first, and they fit in the training of Kilton Joe before or after work, according to the tides. With no field of their own, they have to use the local beach at Sandwich Bay. Malcolm has been trying to win the hunt race for 15 years. Can he do it with the horse they said would never race again?
You've got to get up early in the morning, and you know, you can't sort of lay there till 8 o'clock in the morning thinking, oh, I don't fancy it today. The horse has got to go out, he's in training, he's got to go out every day. You know, you can't sort of bring a horse here on a Saturday and not give him the work through the week.
Now, your dad has been trying to win a race for 15 years. Never won one. Can he win today? Can Kilton Joe and with you on the back?
Hopefully he can.
He has had a little bit of a training setback, but nothing too great. He has missed a little bit of work, but we still think the old fella, if he gets round, he'll be there or thereabouts anyway.
As usual, the bookies are giving nothing away. Even a horse with dodgy legs and who is broken down is 6-4 joint favourite. Anxious moments for the fiancés. A few last-minute adjustments for Peter. Joanna tries to settle her nerves.
Are you ready? Walk in slowly and go!
A good start for Kilton Joe and John. They go straight into the lead. Kilton Joe is jumping superbly and is extending his lead. And doing well too in her first ever ride, Joanna in third place. And what's more, she's ahead of Peter. Safely over the last, Kilton Joe storms to the line. A popular victory and a reward for hard work and dedication. And for one proud mum, the day of her life. Fantastic, John.
Yeah, great.
You waited 15 years for that?
15.
He come into the first, and I thought he was going to stop at the first, actually, because he hasn't had a race for about 3 or 4 weeks anyway. He's a little bit sort of doggish. I gave him a couple coming into it, and he took off, and then, from then on, he was all right. He just pulled my arms out all the way around, really.
And what was the feeling when you jumped the last and you knew
Oh,
you
it
were...
was great. I just had a quick look behind my shoulder, and there was nothing at all there, so I just rode him on home then, and that was it.
In our book, you're the first plumber to ever win a race, is that right?
I don't know.
Are you going to give up plumbing now? I mean,
no, I can't afford to do that.
Malcolm, all your dreams came true then, I think.
It certainly did today. I didn't expect it, really.
Just tell me your emotions as you saw the horse jump the last and you knew you were going to win.
The last horse I owned, that one was an old mare, but this old boy, he's a really genuine horse.
Yeah.
He hasn't been right, as I said before, and to get round 3 miles going 12 stone 7 is marvellous. Thank you very much, Sally.
Couldn't have happened to a better person. It
Thank
really
you very much
couldn't.
indeed.
Yeah, well done. We'll see you out hunting again next year too.
I hope so.
Next week, the centre where the horses train the riders, the tiny tots with the worldwide reputation, and the course for the champions of the future. That's Horses for Courses next Monday at 6:30.